Good morning again from the East Coast. This is Joe. I'm going to do a corned beef brisket and turn it into. This is what I do. This way I do it. I'm not saying this is the right way, but it's the way I've been doing it, and we fell in love with it. So we're gonna show you how I do it. The wife is allergic to paprika, bell pepper, and a few other spices. So I've had to come up with my own rub that doesn't bother her. And both of us are on a sodium-free diet. I don't care what you do. You go out there and pick a carrot that's got sodium in it. None of my rubs have any sodium in it. I got a house spice that I use. It's equal parts of garlic powder, onion powder, and black pepper. Now that's just my house seasoning. Now, when I go to make taco seasoning, I put some oregano, Mexican oregano, some cumin in with it, and then when I'm making a barbecue rub, I'll put a little bit of the chili powder in with my house seasoning. I'm using the chili powder twice. One is to give the chili flavor that most rubs have in them, and I put just a little bit more in there to act as the paprika. Paprika and chili powder, red chili powder, are close cousins. Down the line, way on down the line cousins, but it can be substituted for just a little bit. I don't put any sugar in my rubs due to the fact that we're on everything where you can't have sugar this and sugar. And I swear, it seemed like everything I love. Quit smoking, quit drinking, quit running around with IY, quit gambling. That was the most miserable 5 minutes of my life. I did quit this other brisket, and I seasoned everything except one side here. And I wanted to show you. I put coffee. It's regular old coffee that you take, put in your coffee pot, your Mr. Coffee, whatever. I got this idea some years ago from an old fellow. I can't even remember his name. It goes back to the chuck wagon days when the cook would put chili powder and coffee on meats in order to give it flavor. Now, what I'm doing now is using the coffee as for more or less a beautiful bark and a beautiful smoke ring. You don't put very much on it. You just put enough to just tell you've got some color to it. And then you come back and with my my house seasoning and my New Mexico red chili powder. I grind my own red chili. I got 2/3 cup of the house seasoning and a 1/4 cup of New Mexico red chili powder, and I mix it up real well. And then I put it in one of these old shakers that I've got, and put it on pretty liberally, and just let it sit on. Now I don't rub. Some reason or other, I don't like the way rubbing the seasoning in looks to me. You rub it and things, everything balls up into a little ball, and then you go down a little bit further, and the ball turns into a long string of seasoning. It just doesn't look pretty to me. Anyway, I'm not using this as for competition, so I'm not really worried about the look. But this is just the way I do. When I get it on there good, I pat it. I pat it on there real good and just lightly. I don't slap it or hard or anything. I just pat it just like I would a little baby's butt. There you go. Just a little pat it just a little bit. Okay, I'm gonna pause it here, and y'all can catch back up with me out here at the smoker. See you in just a few minutes. All right, here we are again, back with you. I want to show you just a little kind of a modification that I've done to my smoker. What we have here is this right here is a steaming basket. It's a metal steaming basket. I don't like using this portion of the smoker for using with my lump wood and all. It just doesn't seem like it's safe because down below is a hole. Now this is a propane gas smoker. It's the big one. I can put racks of ribs in here, full racks. I don't have to cut them down. I can get, depending on how they're cut, I could get 6 or 4 to a rack, and then I've got 4 racks. So I got plenty of room to do whatever I want with it. What I do, and it's gonna sound crazy. I'm a stick burner from way back. If that tells you anything right there. With my back problems and everything, right now I cannot get out there and turn that Cadillac on. So what I do is I take lump coal and put in this steaming basket, and then I fire it up with a torch. And when I get it fired up with a torch, then I put the wood chips on top of it and close the door. I also have a baking pan. This is for 2 reasons. I put water in it, and it's only an inch deep. I put water in it and put some spices in it, yada yada. Everybody knows that trick. And then the juices from the meat fall down into the water, and that goes back up into the steams back up into the meat. Now I don't keep replenishing the water throughout the cook. What I do is maybe after 2 hours, I let the steam from the drippings come down and go back up and help. So let me load this thing up, and we'll get back right with you. Okay, I'm back with you. Kind of do a little bit of cheating here. I don't use the propane off of my tank, propane tank, just yet. What I do is I go ahead and I get the charcoal started up, and I don't get them cherry red. I don't have any lighter at all. It's just all charcoal, and this is lump charcoal that I use. I like the way it tastes, and I like the BTUs I get out of it. Some say that there's no any difference. It's just my preference. Just the way I do it. Now, if you notice, I got the door off right now. It's a lot easier for me to bring the meat out without the door open. So what I do is I'll throw the meat on, and then I'll put the door back on. Okay, now, another thing that I do, I don't bring my my smoker up to temperature or anything. I let the meat, the smoker, and the charcoal all come up together. They all come up to temperature together. To me, that's just my preference on any kind of meat. To me, no matter what kind of meat you're going to cook, it's a muscle. And if you touch a hot stove, the first thing you're going to do is tense up and pull back. Same way with dry ice. You're going to tense up and pull back. So call me crazy, but this is just the way I do. I like for my feet to relax, just like you would in a relaxing soaking tub. Just relax, take your time, enjoy the soap and water. Just relax, just let the water do its trick. So that's where I get that from. Call me crazy, but that's just the way I am. While I'm doing this, I'd like for everybody to reach out to some of your closest friends and ones that you haven't seen in a while, some that you see all the time. And we'll have a cup of coffee, sit down, have a sandwich together, invite them over, have a barbecue. 2 weeks ago, I lost a dear friend of mine. He and I were tight. We've been tight friends for 43 years. He passed away 2 weeks ago, and I miss him. Oh, I miss him. In this world, we have wood ships, battleships, spaceships, but the only thing that's stronger than any of those and mightier than those is friendship. And I truly believe in that. So if you have a family member or anything like that, reach out to them and have a meal. That's what this is all about anyway, is having a meal. All right. As you can see, what I've got going on right here now. It's just gentle. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in and get the meat, come back out, throw the meat on. Okay, now, got the door back on. Got the meat on, got the probes in. That right there is about when I close the door. Right here. I'll come out from time to time and replenish the wood chips. About 2 hours, 3 hours, when all the coals have burnt down, I'll turn the gas burner on and let the gas burner finish it up. I've learned over the years that you can put chips in there all day and all night, and it's not going. 2 hours is about the most you're going to get into smoking to your meat. Anything longer than that, and the outside of your meat is going to get bitter and going to get too tough of a crust on top. So I'll close this up, and I'll when the meat gets done, what I'll do is I'll up to 190 degrees. What I'll do is I'll wrap it up, double wrap it up in aluminum foil, and set it on the stove so that air can get all the way around it. Let it cool down. Then I'll refrigerate it.